We had players playing with wooden paddles, and we had them overseas as well. I'll let you know what the potential impact of that is. We've got a dynamite MLP duo coming together to play on the PPA for the very first time. I'll show you who that is. And finally, you won't believe who Anna Bright is playing mixed doubles with. It's all next here on the Draw Reveal Show. What is happening, everybody? It is time for another Draw Reveal Show presented by our good friends at Ensure Max Protein. We're heading back to the East Coast for the Fasenra Virginia Beach Cup. Second year in Virginia. Cannot wait to get back there. I had such a good time personally there last year. So, what are the overall storylines? I think they're very interesting for this one. Start out with flying. Yes, we have a lot of our stars who played in Asia over the last 2 weeks. Some just in Malaysia, some in Malaysia and Vietnam. They're going to be flying back. How is that going to affect them, and will we see the results change because of it? We shall see. Next up, kindling. Yes, some of our pros wanted to turn those wooden paddles into kindling. Others played phenomenally with them. So will there be some energy from that, or will people be happy to have their trusted weapon right back in their hands? We'll keep an eye on that. Next up, soaring. So who won in Malaysia? McGuffin. My goodness, with Eric Onson's terrific win. Jeannie Bouchard makes her first ever final in Sacramento. So we have people soaring in different spots. Plus we got F-18s flying over our heads in Virginia. So there's going to be a lot of soaring. But will these folks take confidence from both Sacramento and Asia and bring it to a big event here in Virginia? Next up, partnering. There are some fun partners that we haven't seen in a while together, and even some new partnerships, so we'll walk you through that. That is going to have a big impact on this event. And then finally, cupping. No, I'm certainly not doing that, and it's up to you if you want to at home. But this is a cup. 1,500 points on the line, plus it's the progressive draw. Start with the round of 64 on Tuesday, round of 32, round of 16, quarterfinal Friday, semifinal Saturday, and championship Sunday. We play one round of all of the disciplines each day. It's going to be phenomenal. So let's jump into the draws. Start with ladies first, of course. And that lady hasn't lost in singles since way back in the spring of 24. Yeah, that's right. Annalie Waters has been wrecking everybody in singles, and she's our Ensure Max Protein player to watch. Let's see her projected raw all the way to the final here. TBD in the round of 32. Ling Wei Kong potentially in the round of 16. Look at this. Catherine Parento in a quarter. Yeah. And then Paris Todd, they've had some great battles in singles, would be her semi-final opponent. No Kate Fahey in this event because she's getting married right before it. Congrats to Kate. There's AL Dub up at the top. Catherine Parenta would have an early battle with Judith Castillo to even get to that quarterfinal with Annalie Waters. So that 5-9 matchup is a very good one early on. There you see Paris Todd. Georgia Johnson down there is the 12th seed, doesn't play a lot of singles, can have a burst of a good event. Haven't seen her take it all the way to Sunday. We'll see if maybe Virginia is indeed for Georgia. On this side, there's Caitlin Christian. Talk about doing some great things overseas. She was terrific in Australia earlier this year and then went over to Malaysia and medaled across the board, winning gold in women's singles. So she is one of those that will be soaring here into Virginia Beach. Jeannie Bouchard, as I mentioned, another one, got her first ever medal, a silver, lost a very tough match with the wooden paddles to the bride-to-be, Kate Fahey, out in Sacramento. She's the 8 seed. Brooke Buckner, the 4. And then look at this little section down here at the bottom. Leah Jansen, the 6, Salome Davidze, the 10, and then the 24 lurking over there, Sam Parker, hasn't played a lot of singles, but has made a singles final. So can anyone top the GOAT, Anna Leigh Waters? They haven't been able to do it all year. We'll see if Virginia Beach is any different. Now, to the fellas, and guess what? Church is back in session on Sunday. Fed used that wooden paddle as his hymnal this time and beat Gabe Joseph in a very tough battle out in Sacramento. So Fed back to the top of the singles hill. Let's see what it'll take for him to get to the final. Folks, look at this list. Everyone in his path has won a Carvana PPA Tour event in singles. Yeah, look at this. The Share Bear, Ryan Sherry, then the resurgent Chris Hayworth, look at that seed, is all the way up to 15. It was 57 just a few weeks ago, so watch out for that. Then our guy Luch, John Lucian Goins, who won 2 in a row just a couple months ago, and then Connor Garnett in the semis. If Fed makes it to Sunday this time, that will be a unbelievable performance. Look at that lineup. And that's only half the draw, folks. So let's take a look at the whole thing. Start up at the top to my right. Hunter Johnson, the #1 seed. He was anointed that by his amazing play. Hasn't won since he's carried the weight of the one next to that name. We'll see if his can get that going and win here in Virginia Beach. 21 seed, Grayson Golden, and the 45, Eric Onsens. Look at that matchup early. A couple guys that did go over to Asia, so we'll see how they fare back on American soil. Jaume Martinez Vic, always trouble as the 5. Christian Alshon appears to be back in peak singles form as the 4 seed in his section. We see Zane Ford and Michael Lloyd down below. So that's that half. Let's take a look at that Fed half I talked about. And there's even names I didn't mention before. Up here, there's Hayworth, the 15. Why do I have the 55 in red? Because Cam Chafin is 14 years old. He is a terrific young player. He's signed a futures contract. What does that mean? He gets into the PPA Tour main draws as a youngster, but can then also play juniors or amateur divisions as well to get those much needed reps. I love that we have that going on, and I'll share a little more of that later in this show. So he's the 55. Jay DeVilliers, the 22 seed, all he did is beat Hunter Johnson with the wooden paddle out in Sacramento, so his singles has looked very good recently. There's John Lucian Goins, the 8. Garnett, the 3. Yates Johnson, the 25, is rounding back into peak form, so we'll see if he can make a run. Jack Sock is the 6 seed, and look who's there. AC, baby, our favorite rapper, the singles specialist, and quite the Papa Shot guy, I'm told, the 29. And then Roscoe Bellamy, the 10. Big fella, huge serve, huge forehand. We like the Dewey as well. Can he, from that 10 seed, make a run? So men's singles is incredible. It's a battle every single time. Who's going to make it to Sunday? We shall see. Now let's go to mixed doubles and look at these two. J.W. Johnson, chill over there, making a shot. He doesn't even need to look at the ball. And the roar of Georgia Johnson. They won out in Sacramento. In fact, J-Dub won both of his events, won the men's doubles back reunited, and it was so good with Dylan Frazier. Let's look at their Ensure Max Protein potential run to a final. Yakovovich and Arakina in the round of 32. Megan Dazan with Jaume Martinez Vic, Hurricane Tyra Black, and Hayden Patriquin. And then look at that, Paris Todd and Christian Alshon back together. So that is quite a run. Obviously not the 1 seed, because the 1 seed is who? You better believe it. Let's take a look at that. Anna Leigh Waters and Ben Johns. Now, we just went through the men's singles field, and you went, wait, Dave, I don't recall you mentioning Ben Johns. That's because he is not in the singles field, but will be playing mixed doubles and men's doubles, and we'll get to that in a second. So one of those decisions, I'm sure, that was made, as he is one of the athletes playing in Asia. So they're the 1. The 64 is highlighted, yeah. 14-year-old Cam Chafin, who I mentioned, but also 15-year-old Ella Yeh from Dallas, terrific young player. Those two playing together. If they can get a win in that first one, how about that? Running into the GOATs, it would be quite a spectacle. I'm sure that match would be put on center if they can get a win. So the future is before us, and I love these future contracts to give these players opportunities to show how good they are in the main draws, yet not prevent them from playing both against the other juniors as well as 5-0 amateur events. So this is a terrific program. We'll keep an eye on them, but watch out and remember those names, Chafin and Yeh. 14 seed. I really liked what Lane Sleeth did out in Sacramento, so let's see if she can carry it over. She's going to be with Big Papa Jimmy Ignatowicz, who also played very well with the wooden paddle, as he's launching his own paddle brand before our very eyes, and we wish him well with that. Hello, Newman. Look at you with Catherine Parento there as the 8 seed. They will be fun to watch. 9 seed, Jackie Kawamoto with Fed Staxford. Yeah, 9 seed. 3 seed, just feel the enjoyment of this. Anna Bright and CJ Klinger playing together for the first time. I cannot wait to watch those two. So this is spectacular over here. 7 seed, Tina Pisnik had to scratch from the Sacramento wooden paddle event. So she says she's healthy. She's looking forward to playing. So she will be with Andre Daescu, the 7 seed. Jade Kawamoto with Dylan Frazier. Dylan Frazier was fantastic out in Sacramento, so he's looking to carry that over. And Brooke Buckner, Tyson McGuffin, 18 seed. It's bonkers here in mixed doubles. 18 seed for a team of that caliber. So that's half of the draw. Let's look over here. There's the Johnsons up above. Black and Patrick Quinn I mentioned. Paris Todd, Christian Alshon I mentioned. Jesse Irvin, Gabe Tardio. They just keep performing so well. They're the 6 seed. And then Rachel Rohrabacher, she's back. She's with Noe Cliff. They are right there as the 11 seed. So this is going to be an absolute battle royale to see who can get to Sunday here in mixed doubles, and we'll be loving every minute of that. Now, let's jump into women's doubles, and look who we have here. Jade Kawamoto and Catherine Parento together for the first time ever at a Carvana PPA Tour event, because I'm sure you're saying, wait, Dave, I know I've seen them play a lot. You have. LA Mad Drop partners who were terrific this summer, and will they be able to carry that over here on the Carvana PPA Tour? I can't wait to see. So twinning will not be winning again, because the Kawamotos, who had that unbelievable win in Cincinnati, are not playing together here in Virginia Beach. However, as we look at the Ensure Max Protein projected run to Sunday, look who's lurking down there. We'll get there in a second. Got to have another winner to get to them, then Walker sisters. And then speaking of sisters, a potential quarterfinal between Jade and Catherine and Lucy Kovalova and Jade's twin sister Jackie. Wouldn't that be fun? And then they are in the same half of Annalie Waters and Anna Bright. So tough sledding to get all the way home, but this is a very good team. So let's dive into the draw. And well, folks, it starts with Annalie Waters and Anna Bright at the top there. Folks said they're going to go 100-0. They'll never lose. Well, then they ran into Tyra Black and Georgia Johnson in Las Vegas, and they lost in the semis. All right, they're ticked off. They're going to go 101. No, the Kawamotos got them, so they are coming to Virginia Beach fired up, having not won the last 2 events. They actually won bronze in both of them, because the losses in both cases were in the semifinals. So we'll see if they can get the ship righted, and most teams would kill for their record, but this team had more hype than anybody. Will they take that #1 seed all the way to Sunday? We shall see. 6 seed, Lacey Schneemans with Leah Jansen. Schneeman wins the wooden paddle event out in Sacramento with Etta Tuionatoa. They were terrific. That's her first win on American soil, as she won in Australia earlier this year. Good job, Lacey. Callie Smith played really well with the wooden paddle as well. She's the 9 seed with Mari Humberg. There's Jade Kawamoto with Catherine Pereno as the 3. There's the 7, her sister, lurking, as we showed you a second ago. And then a very interesting team down here, Jessie Irvin and Millie Rain. Don't sleep on that 11 seed. A lot of potential there. So there's that half. Let's look over here and look who we have back together. This is a very fun team. Georgia Johnson with Rachel Rohrabacher. This will be their 3rd event. They are very, very good. I love the way their skill set matches. So look out for them as the 2 seed. Elise Jones jumps in next to Editui Onatoa here as the 5 seed. So getting that Utah squad all fired up and back together. Speaking of back together, Paris Todd and Hurricane Tyra Black have played very well together. How will they do in Virginia Beach as the 4 seed? Megan Dazan, Tina Pisnik is the 8, and then the Las Vegas Night Owl teammates are the 10. Will they ever just find it and run to a quarter or a semi? We'll see if Virginia Beach works for them. So women's is going to be absolutely fantastic. Now, let's jump in to men's doubles. And you know what these two do? All they do is they say, okay, go ahead, enter the tournament. You're playing for 2nd, because all they do is win. They've won 4 in a row, but since they did not enter Sacramento together, technically it's not going to be 5 in a row, but certainly 5 in a row for these two as a duo, just playing phenomenally together. They've made Sunday every single event they've entered, and they're only getting better. That is a scary, scary thought, but a true one for the rest of the field. Let's look at their Ensure Max Protein potential run to Championship Sunday again. TBD on who they'll get first. Blaine Hovenier, Julian Arnold, then Dylan Frazier, who was terrific out in Sacramento. Eric Onson's going to be part of the crew flying back from Asia. And then Christian Alshon and Andre Daescu back together, team power forward. Ben actually played with Christian in Malaysia and did not, underline not win, if you weren't following the results there. Guess who got him? Yeah, Eric Onsons and Tyson McGuffin beat him in the final over there. So Ben from Malaysia did not get a win with Christian Alshon. It's been a different story with Gabe Tardio. We'll see if that particular story continues. Let's jump in to the draws here. And there they are at the top. Now, why do I have the 35 seed, Medina Alvarez and Crum, and the 27, Golden and Yates Johnson, and the 28 down here, Zane Ford and John Lucian Goins. And even if I go up a little higher, there's Hayworth and Protzek as the 34 seed. All these singles dudes are looking for partners. They're doing great in singles. They don't want to be known as singles dudes, but they've got to get some results in men's doubles to bring that ranking up and get better seeds. So they're going to try and do it by partnering up with some of their fellow great singles players. So very interesting to see how the partners came together down deep in the 20s and 30s as we look at this draw here. So let's get into this. There's Frazier and Onsons, 10 seed, Augie Guh and Hunter Johnson. That is a very talented duo. Augie Guh, the lefty, played very well out in Sacramento. There's team power forward. And then Noe Cliff and Rafa Hewitt, for whatever reason, just have found great chemistry together. They've had several deep runs into tournaments. Can they do it again? Round them up, Rafa with the Frenchman. It just works. We'll see if it works near the beach in Virginia. The 2 seed, yeah, we haven't even talked about them yet. Hayden Patriquin and Fed Staxrud. They've been terrific together. The 8 seed, Jocelyn DeVilliers with Matt Wright. Is this like 2021? Because look who the 9 seed is. Pat Smith and Riley Newman. And Jay and Pat played so much together, the Wichita buddies, so they could run into each other very early here in the draw. Ice Ice Baby's back. Yeah, that's right. J.W. Johnson and C.J. Klinger. They're the last team to beat Ben and Gabe. They're the 4 seed and obviously on the other half of the draw. 5 seed, again, another sort of old school squad. You got Deckel Barr and Tyson McGuffin, and then the Vandy boys, Max Freeman and James Ignatowicz as the 12 seed. So men's doubles has been terrific, and we said there was parity earlier in the year, but not anymore. It has been all Ben and all Gabe all the time. Will that continue in Virginia Beach? We will find out. So those are the draws. What's coming up, Dave, you ask? Well, guess what? We are going back to Vegas. Oh, yeah, Vegas, baby. We're going to Darling Tennis Center. Terrific spot for the Rate Cup. And it's a cup this year. So we go cup, and then what's behind me? Boom, Worlds, the biggest event on the calendar. Not one, not two, 3,000 points. So in the period of just Virginia Beach, the Vegas Cup, and the World Championships, 6,000 points available for players. So you get hot in this little section of the year, you could really be improving that ranking and that seed for yourself. So Pickleball Boulevard going to be there. You better believe it. Music, food, everything. It's going to be phenomenal. Get yourself to Dallas, November 3rd through the 9th. And just a reminder right before that, the MLP Cup, where all of your favorite Major League Pickleball teams will be competing starting on Halloween. So trick or treat, leading right into Worlds. Come on, what's better than that? And then, hey, Central Florida, we'll see you after Worlds. We'll be heading to Lakeland November 18th through the 23rd. So, folks, this schedule is just jam-packed with fun. So, where can you find everything? Oh, we got all your action covered. Pickleball TV, we got Tennis Channel, we got ESPN2. We've got a big announcement, which I will just share with you right now. Pickleball TV's in so many great places, and now, starting in October, it's going to be on YouTube TV as well. So if you're a YouTube TV subscriber, get your Pickleball TV right there where you're watching all of your other favorite shows. So guess what? We love going to Virginia Beach. We love seeing all of our wonderful military, the planes buzzing over. There'll be helicopters, and there's going to be some really good pickleball out there as all of the players converge there on the East Coast. I can't wait to be on the call, and I sure can't wait to see you guys. If you're there, come out and see me, and if you can't make it, watch it. We appreciate your support of this show, of our great athletes, so very much. Until the next show, and until we get to Virginia Beach, thanks so much for watching. Peace.